Hey everybody, Dr. Justin Tossing here, T4 Spinal Complete, retired chiropractic physician, showing you the best possible exercise you can get as a person in a wheelchair. Even if you're not in a wheelchair full time, it doesn't matter, you don't have to have a spinal cord injury. This is probably a better exercise than anything else in the world other than maybe swimming. When you work hand cycle, you use your core abdominal muscles to contract and pull. You use your lats, your biceps, and your wrist flexors. Then you begin to push up and out using your deltoids, triceps, pectoral muscles, and core again. It's an unbelievable exercise. It totally invigorates you, and once you get going on this thing, I find I don't want to stop. So I'm going to show you a few modifications I made. The first thing you're going to want to do when you get the eDragonfly from Rio Mobility is you're going to want to take it to a bike shop. Doesn't cost a lot of money, $100. We'll take the device that will make it exactly fit you perfectly. The chain length might need to be adjusted, and if you're like me, I wanted just a little bit more power. I'll show you how this electronic Dragonfly works. It has the gear up here, and then it has 7 gears down there on the sprocket attached to the wheel. There's also a hub motor that kicks in through this little sensor right here. Only when you're cranking the crankshaft will this detector send a signal to trigger this on. Now, what does that do when it turns on is actually what it does is it gives you 5 different level modes of assist. Honestly, each of those modes actually is a different speed level. The way any electric motor works is the amount of volts going determines the amount of speed the motor wants to drive. And so level 1 is really speed 1. And that's about 3.5 miles an hour, good for walking, going up a hill. If you're going up a hill with some kind of a front drive system, remember you probably need something in the back, or you're going to have to use your hands because the weight transfers in the back. Speaking of which, I put 4 ankle weights to add extra traction on the front, but that's one thing. I use the Smartdrive when I go out and I know I'm going to be in a really hilly area. Smartdrive tackles any hill, but this is the best for getting places. Okay, so top gear turns, you can select 7 different gears below. The gears that would match with speed 1 might be gear 1 or 2. When you go to level 2, you're talking about 5 miles an hour. You might use, 3 or 4. When you get to level 3, you're probably talking about 8 miles an hour, and then you might use, 5, gear 5, maybe even 6. And if you're going to get to gear 4, when you get to level 4 or 5, the speed level on that is going to be approximately, you're going to get up to with 5, you're going to be going about 12 miles an hour. And 12 miles an hour, for me, with the original gearing, you just can't get there. I'm like a rabbit spinning around like this, a hamster on a wheel. I couldn't do it. I was only comfortable getting up to about 8 miles an hour, even in 7th gear. So I changed the sprocket. This top sprocket it comes with is about a 32 pin tooth, 32 tooth, and I put a 44 tooth on here. I'm thinking I could even go higher than that, but that was not very costly. The bike shop did that for me, and now I handle speeds of 12-15 miles an hour real easily, and I can keep up with someone on a bike real easily, and I never feel that hamster feeling. I'm going to do a demonstration, but let me just say, this is how I would start off my day. Well, when you get one of these, take it to the bike shop, adjust it perfectly for your position. If you want to change the sprocket, go ahead and do that, or try the first one you got. And then when you're going out for a ride, the first thing you do is this tool comes with it. And what you do is you just go along to each of these things. Sorry, we're at the beach, it's real noisy. Great weather here in San Diego. Okay, so this is a torque wrench, a little mini hand torque wrench. You just put it in and you twist it until it pops like this. Get it securely in. That's it. That's it. There's 2 right here. That's it. That's it. That's it. If you're going for a long ride, the last thing you want is to get stuck somewhere because one of these things came loose, and you won't be able to easily reattach it yourself. So do the same thing on the other side. I've already done that. Once you're all set, put that back in your bag, and then set it for the gear you want and the speed you want. I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to give you guys an example of what 5 looks like. Oh, also, these things, you want to make sure these cords stay out of the way. So if you twist backwards when you go to pick up the handlebars, now the cord starts getting caught. Also, going backwards, whenever you go backwards like this, you have to be careful you don't get the cords caught around the handlebars. So you want to always twist forward. Twist forward to keep them out of the way. Okay? I'm going to take off my wheel locks here. I got it on full blast 5, and I'm going to get started here. Ready? That's how we roll. Now, a couple other things you want to know about this. Because these handlebars wobble and they're attached to the gears, when you need to pay attention very much to steering. And when you get going fast, it's good to keep your elbows locked so that you have more stability. Having your elbows bent or your core all wobbly like that can result in some loss of steering control. So when you're going fast, going down a hill, keep your arms locked and steer with your torso. Just gentle movements. You never want to turn fast, especially when you're going downhill. Other than that, that's just about it. I think I don't have much else to say. Always talk about my sandals. My sandals are Velcroed onto the foot plate, and I put my feet in them. These are and ones, super cheap at like Walmart. Put my foot under the foot plate, never hurt my foot, and then I strap it in and they never fall off. That's the only other really great thing that I can think of telling you guys right now. Alright, any questions, call the guys at Rio Mobility. Alex over there is super great, and otherwise, get out there, have fun. There's no reason, if you're in a wheelchair, that you can't do everything you want to do. Where there's a wheel, there's a way.